DB, it could be that one play. And that one play, you could be having the best game of your life. That one play happens. Now you got to find a way like to not think about the negatives, and you got to still find a way to, come on the next play and just go after it. For me, I really thought I was going JUCO, and then so I was just kind of preparing for that, and then out of nowhere I get invited to the visit from G and Coach Kuhn, and I come out here, and it's like you got to go where you're wanted when you're getting recruited.
Exactly.
So I just felt that instant love when I came out here, and I kind of knew this was the place to be, and ever since then it's been great to me.
Your dad played receiver. You play DB right now. I think the question is, if you were to line up in front of your dad, out of 10 plays, how many do you think you're winning? Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Y. I'm your host, Hinkley Rapati, and today we got another special guest with us today. We got Evan Johnson.
Yes, sir.
So give it up for Evan Johnson, baby. Welcome, Evan. Appreciate you for being on here, bro, and taking the time just to be here with us, bro. I know I've said this to everybody being here, but I know it's the heat of the season, and you know what I mean. You got things going on, but I appreciate you for being here, bro.
No problem. This is your family. We all know that. We all family, so it's always fun to do stuff like this.
Shemav, it's weird saying your name, Evan Johnson, when I introduce you, because I never call you Evan, or you said your full government name like that, and so everybody calls you Shmev. Everybody knows.
Like at this point, like when I came in, it was just Shmev. It never was Evan. Yeah. Like that's just how it was. But
and so actually, we can start off with that. Yeah. Where does Shmev come from? You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
My wife actually asked me. She asked me, when was it? Like 2 weeks ago, before planning this, and she was like, "Why do you guys call him Shmev?" Like I like she knows you obviously. Yeah. She's like, "Why do you guys call him Shmev? Why do you call it Evan Shmev?" I was like, honestly, I don't know, but I think it's because like he's a smooth operator, and his name is Evan. So put smooth and Evan together, you get Shmev. And so
that's not a bad take. That's not a bad take.
So tell us exactly how you got that nickname, bro.
Nah, I was probably about like 7 years old, and I'm in the garage with my cousin, and we like freestyling. We got my dad's iPhone, they playing a beat. And I said, I didn't know any words, so I said Evan, Kevin, Shmevin, and I said hip hop Harry, because that's all I knew.
Oh, so it was just like a random
word, and then from that, my cousins took on with it, and then
it just stuck
ever since. It really didn't stick like when I was younger, like nobody called me that. But then when I got to high school, I changed my Instagram handle to that's when it kind of like people at my school started calling me. Then I got here, and then it just stuck.
It's a trend, man. I mean, I think was it like when you made those back-to-back picks, in plays, and all of a sudden I'm seeing it plastered everywhere. you got Shmev, you know what I mean? And I love it because, I mean, I think you did a day in the life or, some other clips, videos with the media team, and you would say, that phrase would come up and things like that sort. And I think it's just fun though, bro. That's freaking dope.
Yeah, Anna and them did a great job. Like Anna was one of the first people. She was like, "Look, I made this meme," and I was like, at first I was just like, I didn't really get it, but it's stuck.
It's gonna catch on, man. Yeah. I mean, you continue to make plays the way you're making, man. It's gonna be a big thing. Next minute you're walking into stadiums and all you're seeing is you got Shmed, man.
Nah, that would be crazy. That would for real be crazy.
Hey, brother. So you're a fellow Californian. Obviously, you're from Monterey, right?
Yeah. Monterey.
Talk about life at Monterey, and talk about like life before coming to BYU.
Yeah, so grew up in Monterey. My parents are both from there. My mom's actually from Seaside, and my dad's from Monterey. My grandma's taught at Monterey High. She was a principal. Oh, and then my mom's family was military, so they stayed at the Fort Ord military base. So from there, I went to a middle school called San Venancio. Then Robert Louis Stevenson. It's a private boarding school that I went to, and I'm extremely blessed to go there because it was just it's a beautiful campus, and it's really one of a kind. And but the athletics there are not like the best. Now they're definitely getting better, and they're sending more people to college. But before me, like nobody really was going, so it was really taking a big risk there because my parents wanted me to get a good education. So they're like, all right, we want you to go here. And I would always talk to them like, I want to go here, this school's better in sports and football team's better, but they really believed in Stevenson, and so I went there, played football there, and then
not just football. I mean, you did a lot of different sports growing up, obviously. Yeah. I mean, like many guys that come play here, you know what I mean? Football is not just the only sport they play their entire life, you know what I mean? So you also played baseball, right?
Yeah, I played baseball.
Basketball.
I ran track.
And obviously you ran track. Yeah.
That was fun. Baseball and track were baseball was a big part of like my childhood.
Okay,
Like,
I was going to say, which sport were you leaning towards?
Yeah,
more
my mom told me the other day. She said, "I honestly thought you were gonna play baseball," and I said, "That's crazy," because like I never once. I always thought it was basketball, but as I got older, I just started playing football, and I found a love for it.
Yeah,
so.
Basketball. We'll talk about what's your favorite basketball, I guess, NBA team. Are you because Monterey's like right between the Bay Area and LA. So
I'm a Heat fan.
Are you a Heat fan?
So
how did that come up?
I just like all the teams Wesley likes. Like so growing up, that's just how it
big
was.
Bro. Yeah. Okay.
West liked the Saints, so I took on the Saints. He likes the Red Sox, so I took on the Red Sox, and then same with the Heat. Yeah. And so those are. I got the same teams as him.
That's dope, man. So you playing basketball, obviously growing up, and so at what point did you really feel like? Was there a point where you felt like, oh, football is what I want to do, or you know?
Yeah, it was probably. I mean, I always had a big love for football. You know, like my dad would do these football camps in the summer, called the Johnson Tony football camp, and it was one of those days I was at the camp and I'm playing receiver. I started off quarterback at the camp, and my dad said, maybe you should go to receiver. And I went to receiver, and then that was like the day it kind of just clicked for me. Like, you know, this is like, just had a lot of fun with this, something I want to do. Yeah. And from there, just started playing, you know, played on varsity my freshman year. And so I got lucky to get some touches on there. And, you know, I'm a $145 playing against, you know, 215. But I'm moving. So that's kind of when I realized, like, this is the thing. This is the thing for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, you mentioned your pops earlier, you know, doing camps and stuff like that. I mean, he played in the NFL, right? Yeah. Ron Johnson. I mean, he played with the Eagles. Yeah. Did some time in the CFL, the UF, you know what I mean? Like, has a plethora of experience in the pro football world, you know. And then obviously, then you have your brother who's in the coaching world. Here at BYU, he's on staff as well. Yeah. Wesley, big Coach West. Shout out to Coach West.
Shout out West.
But like you got these, you know, football is very much a part of your guys' life, you know what I mean, in your upbringing. So like, for you, was that like a huge help for you, or was there like a lot of pressure that came with that, you know?
Nah, it was a big help for me. You know, my dad, like when you have someone who's played at the highest level, I feel like he kind of reminds me that, you know, I'm capable of it. So that's just been a huge part. Like I feel like going from my sophomore to my freshman to my sophomore year, like I was just struggling a little bit, you know, spring ball, and I would always get caught up on like, I wonder what it is. And that was one day that I called my dad, and he kind of just told me, like, you know, you're meant to be here. Like, in all this, everything lined up. God put you here for a reason. And I feel like that was the day he kind of just reminded me that I have what it takes and that I can do it if I believe in myself. And I don't know, something about that conversation, it just got to me the right way. Yeah. Maybe it's the right day or the right time. And it just stuck with me. And that's when I really started to put the work in. And because, you know, when I got here as a freshman, you know, I'm on scout team, and it's, you know, everyone goes through scout team, you know, you got to work your way. Yep. And I just kind of didn't know where I was at. And then that call kind of just reminded me that, like, I'm here and I got something I want to do, and I have the opportunity that you got to take advantage of it.
That's God's plan. And but that's so awesome to have someone like that with that experience, you know, that played at the highest level, you know, is where we all want to be, played at where we all want to be, and be able to have that kind of, you know, support in your corner and let you know those things. I feel like it's a huge confidence boost. I feel like, you know what I mean? And especially for you coming in here to BYU. Talk about your recruiting here at BYU. You know what I mean? And how did you get here to BYU? How did a kid from Monterey, California? Because first of all, the only thing I know about Monterey is you guys. I think there's an aquarium there.
Biggest aquarium, best aquarium in the world.
And best aquarium in the world, right? It's like it's crazy. I mean, I used to see like, you know, commercials and stuff like that about it. So that's all I know about Monterey, if I'm being honest. You know what I mean? So how does a kid from Monterey like end up here at you know, in Provo?
Yeah, so Coach Clune, our old linebackers coach, there was a game I went crazy. I had like 5 touchdowns and I threw for 1, right? And after that game, one of our like little dudes around our, you know, everyone has those dudes that tweet. His name's John Devine, so he's tweeting out, and Coach Clune just happened to follow him on Twitter, seen it, and then kind of watched my film, and then he said to the G, and they kind of saw how I could get the ball. And just like, because I didn't play defense at all. Yeah. My dad did not touch defense.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy. I maybe had 1 or 2 tackle highlights because I played like 2 snaps in this game. And so they kind of really, that's why I always think G, because he just took a chance on me.
Yeah,
you know?
He did, yeah.
not a lot of people. Like I had interest, from I think Fresno State was one that I had interest. I had Sac State, San Jose State gave me a preferred walk-on.
Okay.
But for me, I really thought I was going JUCO, and then so I was just kind of preparing for that, and then out of nowhere I get invited to the visit from G and Coach Clune, and I come out here and it's like you got to go where you're wanted when you're getting recruited.
Exactly.
So I just felt that instant love when I came out here, and I kind of knew this was the place to be. And ever since then, it's been great to me. So I got nothing I can say, but thank you to G and all those guys.
Shout out to Coach G, man. I mean, I've talked to a lot of guys who've been able to be, under his tenure during his time here, right, under his coaching, and they talk about how amazing of a coach he is, and amazing of a man he is. You know what I mean? And so, I guess talk about like how crucial his role in your development as a DB, because you didn't play, like you said, barely any like 2 snaps in high school of defense, and then you come to a big program like BYU, you're playing at a high level, and we're playing lights out right now, having the season that you're having right now. And so how hard was that, the transition and going from offense your entire life, and all of a sudden now it's defense? Talk about, that transition.
Yeah, that transition, it actually was really hard for me. My freshman year, like when you're on a scout team, it's you against the best players. So you're just kind of trying to get out there and survive. So there'd be a couple of times where, G would always tell me the peer step, and, hard-headed freshman, I never could get like the peer step down. I just thought it was too hard, or it wasn't for me.
For those who don't know, that the step that you're talking about is the
peer step before when you're pressing somebody.
Yeah, when you're pressing. Yeah,
and it's a big difference because when you're inching, you're giving room, and so it's a lot different. When you peer step, you just right in front of them, and you could get your hands on a lot more times. So. I never really trusted the peer step. G would always tell me, but I wanted to inch. I seen J-Rob do it. I saw D-Lo, you do it a couple of times. So I just wanted to inch. So I was inching, and one day G comes up to me like, man, you just got a peer step. And I'm like, all right. So I started the peer step, and he kind of just taught me, the ins and outs of the peer step, and it's completely changed my game. Another coach that used to be here last year was Rob Daniels. He's a big one who helped me out this summer. I was with him probably every day. At 12, we're at Lehigh High School at noon, and we're just getting working. He was a big help for me because he teaches in such a unique way. And when you put him and G together, when we had them together, it was just a lethal duo.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So I feel like when I was going to him, I really was just able to hone my technique. And then when G's also giving me his input right there, and just the little, like the dynamic duo, it was just working out so well. And then it just kind of led to me being more confident in myself. When you put that kind of time in, you start to build that confidence.
True.
So that was a big thing for me. I feel like when you're playing DB, that's the biggest thing. You got to be stepping in front of them, the receiver, like, there's no way I'm going to let you beat me. Yeah. And so that's how I feel right now. And I just trust in my abilities that God's given me. Yeah. And
bro, that's crazy because I've heard it many times before from other DBs, but one of the best or the biggest attribute to a successful DB is their confidence, and for someone that's just been playing corner for the last 3 years, you know what I mean? I feel like that's really hard to build up, Yeah. And so you talked about all the little nuances that you had to learn and things that the coaching points from the coaches that you had to take and implement into your game to really get to that point. When do you feel like that switch happened where it's like, wait, I really can do this, you know what I mean? Like I really got a future in doing this.
It really was like, last year I got some starts at the nickel position when we'd go in our nickel package. So I just got to get in the game, and I kind of, when you get in the game and you realize like, all right, this dude in front of me is just not better. It sounds so cocky, but there's a moment where you're guarding somebody and you're like, all right, like there's no way this dude can beat me. Mm-hmm. And like that was a feeling that clicked those few games. And then from there, it's just like, just keep that up. And I don't really know how to describe it. It was just such a quick transition. And it really was just like also my feel of the game has come a lot better. You know, like when I was a freshman, you know, like you got to think. So when you're getting recruited, these people have played DB since they're in middle school or elementary school. So it's like, all right, they know these low feels. They might have got this feel when they were in 7th grade, and now I'm just trying to get it for the first time. So I feel like that was a big, like not problem, but like just challenge
kind
for
of
me.
a disadvantage, you know, in a way, just to get over.
Yeah, so that was just a disadvantage for me. So I'm still learning those things, and even to this day, you know, there's some things. I think one of the players that has the best feel that I've like probably ever seen is Jaden Dunlap. You know, when I watch his feel as a DB, it's just different because he plays such like nonchalant. It really is.
But that's just Jaden's personality.
It's just Jaden's personality.
Is exactly how he plays. But he understands how good he really is, man. His technique is, you know. That's crazy because you came in, obviously. I mean, we talked about, you know, you came 22, you got here, and then 23 is when you really started seeing opportunities, right? You got time to play a little bit.
Yeah, that was when I was more with the twos. And I was just learning the playbook. That's where I feel like I really learned the playbook, you know, because G was really on our on us to,
for sure.
Just get those plays down. It'd be the little things like our leverage, all that little stuff. He'd be really just like, you know, always on us in film. Like I'm talking about, you know, he might chew us out a couple times in practice too. And so that was when I just really honed in on the playbook. And from then, like, I feel like I felt like I was okay with my technique. I don't feel like I was really comfortable. And then like last year, just in this off season, like a lot of off season in this off season, I was just working so much that like it just built my confidence, you know?
No, for sure.
Like when you're like, I was telling Tommy Prasses the other day, when I'm lining up against you and it's like, all right, I've put this amount of time into this like exact technique. I know I've done more than you this summer. There's no way I'm going to sit here and I'm going to let you beat me.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like that was a big mindset change for me because, you know, when you're a receiver too, you know, you're just like, you could beat them, but they might not get the ball, you know, you might not lose. But DB, it could be that one play. And that one play, you could be having the best game of your life. That one play happens. Now you got to find a way like to not think about the negatives, and you got to still find a way to, you know, come on the next play and just go after it, you know.
And that's really hard, especially DB, because you're going against arguably probably one of the best athletes on the field, you know, the receivers and stuff like that, and you got to keep track of them while going backwards, you know. And people don't understand. Like I think I saw there was like a huge debate: what's the hardest position in football, right? Whether it's like, and I think what I saw was the two positions were cornerback and quarterback. I mean, quarterback and DB, right? And yeah, I mean, I look back at it as like, yeah, it's really hard. I mean, and I think for you guys as DBs, the biggest thing is like being able to have that short-term memory. I mean, for every athlete, especially for you guys, you know what I mean? Because there's going to be moments where they're going to make those small catches, they're going to make those big catches, but being able to bounce back and be like, I'm good. I'm still that guy. This guy is still not better than me. You know what I mean? Overall, at the end of the day, I'm going to have the better day than him, you know? And I feel like I've seen that growth in you since you know when you first got here to now, because I've seen you when you first got here. You know,
I was getting blurred. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was just a phase I went through. Like, and that was a phase that was what kind of made it even harder. That was the
thing is though. It was like one thing that I know, and you know this too. You can't teach speed.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, you can't.
You can't. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I mean, you can get faster. You know, like incrementally, like you know the little things. But like at the end of the day, speed is something that you're really just, it's just ingrained in you, you know what I mean? Whether you're either faster or not, you know? And I feel like that's one thing you can't teach. And the fact that you had that coming in, you know what I mean? It really was a huge advantage for you, because then everything else was just kind of, you can learn and pick up everything else, you know what I mean? And so I think just watching you from 22, I used to watch a lot of the one-on-one clips. I think I was telling you this earlier, and then nice to see when you first got here, and I'm all like, dang, you know what I mean? The technique was like very much raw, you know, very raw.
No technique. There was no technique. That's what it was. There was no technique.
But your ability to close space,
and
that speed, I was like, man, you can't teach that. Like if this guy can just, you know, get his technique down and hone that, oh, it's gonna be GG's. And then I think it was like the 24 season when you got a couple starts, and then I remember you made a play against Wyoming. You got was that your first pick?
Yeah,
the first pick, career pick. And I remember seeing that, and just like, oh yeah, this guy is a completely different player. But then you come back after this summer, and it's like a whole different level that you took, you know, a step that you took. And it reminds me of that you probably heard this quote, but it's something about like, it goes like something like when preparation meets like opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's when the, you know, the great plays happen. You know what I mean? And I feel like you're a testament to that. You know what I mean? Especially if you're working with Rob, because I know how Rob works. I've seen him work out D-Lo.
Yeah.
I've actually worked out at the same time while Rob is training DBs, and he pulled us over during like their training sessions and asked me, hey, can you just run an out route or just like we'll do 2-man contests with him. He had me like, I just got done with my training, and he was all like, yeah, y'all want to catch some balls? And then we went out there, and he will legit like, have us do 2-route concepts and really have D-Lo was over there, and what are DBs that he was working with, high schoolers. But you can tell, you know what I mean? He, so I know, the fact that you were working with him all summer really is a huge, contributor to why you're able to, ball the way you're balling right now, man. Yeah. And so we were talking about this earlier before you got here. But one of the most viral clips right now is from the CU game, the Colorado game. And it's the crowd just like, egging you on, just chanting and just like, basically bantering you. And you, how do you like, and then like that very play, you literally made a great tackle, you know what I mean? Like a boomstick type tackle. And like how do you tune out the noise? Talk about that play specifically, bro.
Yeah. Everyone asks like, did you hear him? I heard him.
Yeah.
When someone's yelling after your last name.
Yeah, exactly.
But I still wasn't like really thinking like, oh, I gotta silence these dudes right now. It was just more the play just came, and I was just in the right spot, and quarterback threw a little Stevie, as you call him, and I just came downhill and I just hit him. I don't like. We've seen that concept before, and I really should have had 2 hits like that.
Yeah, like that.
The second one, I kind of babied it. You can't be doing that. So,
no, but that hit right there, bro, is one of those hits that you get anyone who loves football like jumping out their chair. And I remember seeing that, and I'm all like, man, what? Like,
and the crowd just made it 10 times better too. Like that's like a dream clip right there.
It really is, bro. I was like, dude, this guy's out here really oral forming during the game.
I was just thinking about that. I was literally.
and then you made plenty of plays, man. I mean, like, and then let's talk about ECU. Let's talk about those back-to-back picks. Like that is, I read somewhere, I think it was like the first time in BYU history that someone has ever made back-to-back picks, and then let alone one of them be a pick six. You know what I mean? That's crazy and like I said, I go back to the, the preparation, meeting opportunities, kind of talk about like, what went through your mind during those plays, and probably going into the week of ECU and to be able to be in the position to make those plays.
Yeah, the first one on the goal line, that one was just, I was just playing it. Like I said, the same thing with the outright. It was kind of like the same thing. It was a bunch, it was bunch, cluster, and came out to the flat, so I took it. And that one, I really didn't think the quarterback was gonna throw it. Like I was in like a position where I was like, if you threw it, like there's no way I'm not gonna pick it. And he just threw it. Those are just those in-game moments. Yeah, you don't get those really like in practice either. Because like in practice, the smart thing to do is the quarterback's gonna tuck it and you can't hit him. Yeah. In the game, like when that pressure's really coming, he chucked it and I just went and got it, Man. And I really should have cut back left. Like when we have the near sideline rule, like cut back left. But I was just I seen green this way, and then I seen that big old lineman. So I did that little U-turn. That's what and then I should have cut it back too, because Maury was blocking. Maury was definitely
he was out there.
He was lead blocking. So.
No, but what's crazy about that? I think people don't understand. Just casual watchers. Like when you really see those kind of plays, like. You watch those things over and over in film. You see those tendencies. You know what I mean? And I feel like as a DB or any position in football, like when you study those tendencies really well, you know what I mean? And you really those things like every day you're seeing, in film, and then you go out there in the game and you see that thing you know what I mean? To kind of talk about how important film study is to your preparation.
Yeah, there is no better feeling than when it's like, all right, I've watched this like ECU. We knew they're a heavy RPO team, and like on the goal line, Coach Hill just put us in a beautiful call. Like it's just one that I could just trust myself. Yeah. And so put us in that call. And like one thing we saw was the 3-step. Like we had to get 3-step, and I feel like U of A, I missed a couple of 3-steps. But when you get that 3-step and the quarterback is just like staring, he's dead staring in your eyes. It's like, I know you're coming right here. So when I seen that, it was just like easy.
Do you bait it? Like you know it's coming. Do you bait it, or you kind of just?
Yeah, I feel like that one I knew it was coming because they ran a lot of RPO hitches. Yeah, and it was 2 number 4, their main receiver. So I feel like I was on him. I just showed off a little bit, and then he just threw it. And the rest, I don't really know. Just history. Like, and it really was. And it was crazy because I really told Anna, I said, I'm going to get a pick.
I saw that.
And I walk away, and I didn't really walk away, but I like look away, and I'm like a pick 6. Like, I just knew, I really wish it was farther back so I really could show people how fast I am. Because like that didn't let you see my speed. Like I want one where it's on like
you want it where you're breaking
1 yard line, and and you just see the difference. Like when I just start to separation. Lose them.
You want one from the other side of the 50, like on our own 50.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I feel it, bro. Man, honestly, man, those were like, watching those plays, and it was, I couldn't help but just be like super excited. And I'm all like, dude, like this guy's just doing what we've already seen you do in practice. You know what I mean? And the fact that now the world knows like who Evan Johnson is, you know what I mean? Who Smith is to us is like, it's really exciting to see, the fruits of all your labor and preparation that you're doing, And so I guess what that leads into, obviously this week, right? We got Utah. It's Holy War. You've been part of this program for the last 3 years now. 3 This is your fourth year, right? Talk about your first experience in the Holy War. How was that?
I mean, that environment, and especially because we were at the U, it was just crazy. Like, it's like you against everybody except for that little section of blue.
Yep.
And so, like, now that I feel like it's at our place, it's gonna be
rocking.
Yep. It's gonna be I cannot wait. Like that feeling is really one of a kind. And I really say that, I think about that every game. Like, I always just like take in the stadiums I go to because like this is like something you only get to do once in your life. And there's the NFL, but like college is different.
And
the environment is just
that is different. So true. I talk to guys, we got boys in the NFL, and they talk to them all the time. It's like the atmosphere of college, especially at BYU, college, like
it's ridiculous.
Game day at BYU at Lavelle. Dude, it's like there's plenty of stadiums in the NFL that won't even get close to that. You know what I mean?
And like, even when we were like 5 and 7, the stadium wasn't packed to the brim, but it was filled and it was loud. And like when you like no matter what we go through, that we have fans that are gonna back us up, like that.
It makes you play harder too,
yes,
bro.
Yes, it does, because it's like they're spending their hard-earned money to come watch me play.
Exactly.
So it's like when I know that, and I know that they're maybe spending all this time, even watching videos like this, it's like, how can you not want to give that person your all?
Exactly.
So
it's so true. I mean, and then coming here, I mean, you can attest to this, but like the Holy War is really like, man, when I tell you the hate is real, between the fan bases, right? And it's crazy to see them going back and forth. And this week, it started, I mean, it's never like not happening. Like you can go on X on anything, and you see the banter between the two fan bases. And I feel like that's what makes this game so special. It's like we feel the emotions, you know what I mean? And then you take on that emotion, you know what I mean? I mean, it's no matter what anybody says, we're type of team it's always 1-0. It's always 1 week at a time, right? But everybody knows Utah's always in the back of our head.
See, hear me out though. For me, it's a little different though, because I'm not. I feel like like when I'm. I still want to beat them though. But I'm not from Utah, so I never really got the experience. Now that I've been in it, now it's like, I cannot wait to play in this game.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, I feel like with my experience of the Holy War, I mean, I've played them already twice in my time here, right? Back in 20, I think it was 22 or 21. 21, and then in last year, right? 24. And then now, you know what I mean? Now you guys are about to play them this year. And like, whether I get the opportunity to come back or not, you know what I mean? One of the biggest things, like, man, I can walk away. Not a lot of BYU players can say this, but you can walk away saying you're undefeated against, Utah, you know what I mean? And so I feel like there's a lot of things at stake, but I feel like at the end of the day, that doesn't change our preparation. You know what I mean? It's still the same. I mean, the fact that there's more emotions and, a lot of, things going into the game, external factors outside of it. But at the end of the day, the preparation is still the same for us as players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that's something that I don't know. Does that change for you?
Nah, really, like I said, like same thing with my technique. The way you prepare is how confident you play in the game,
Yeah.
Like if I've watched enough film and it's like, all right, I know them. It's like, all right, I'm going to feel a lot more confident when I'm going against them because I've seen you do this certain movement. So now it's giving me the keys. I've seen your alignment like this. So it's like, all right, now I know these plays are coming.
Yep.
So it's like even ECU, I'm telling you, I seen that formation when I'm watching.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Coach Pop, he there was a night before the game in the hotel. He goes, did you watch the NC State game? And I watched it, but I wasn't like watching it. And he says in the second half, NC State kind of let ECU get back into it because they were letting Ford catch the RPOs. And so I went back that night and I watched that NC State game and I noticed it. And it was that exact split. And
exact same formation.
Yeah,
and everything.
I still haven't told Coach Pop this, but it was that exact split, and I was like, I've seen this exact split last night when I'm watching on my iPad, and it was like, when you see that and those opportunities, those are like ones you gotta go get them because it's like these. You never know how many opportunities you're gonna get as a DB. You may only get one target that whole night.
Yeah,
and so it's like if you don't make the most of that opportunity, it's like so. Exactly. When I seen that, I just knew it was my time to go.
Well, man, with the way you're trending right now, you're probably not going to see a lot of targets, bro. You keep making plays like that.
U of A was targeting me. They had a little, X on me.
I know. I bet. I mean, they want to, you know what I mean? Especially when you're coming in as like, one of the guys, you know what I mean? Making plays like that. A lot of offenses have that pride, you know what I mean? They're we're going to go at you, you know what I mean? And, they found out, and so
I respect it. I respect U of A. They went at
No, for sure.
Me.
Most definitely, bro. They did. One more thing, as we're coming to close, talk about like, so this year, obviously, I feel like manifesting is a huge thing with you because I've seen it already twice and seeing content from you. I think it was the first day of fall camp this year. You said, I'm getting a pick today. You said in your day in your life and you came out there and you got a pick, you know what I mean? Which is people don't understand. It's really hard to do, especially when you're going against, these great receivers like Chase and, you know what I mean? All these guys and, Parker and all that. And then you did the same thing with your back-to-back picks and things of that sort. Like you legit manifested and you said it before the game. And so I guess what we can do now, kind of talk about what's your plan for Smith, for Evan Johnson for this season at the end.
I wrote a note on my note card and it just sits in my notebook every day. It says the Thorpe. I want the Thorpe. I want to win it. So.
And you already got the nod during the ACU week, right?
Yeah, so I got that for the week, but that's been my goal this season. Want to lead the nation in picks too. Those are two of my big goals. And I just want to do like really good in school. I want to lock in and just finish it out and
take your business off the field as well, man. As you should.
Do. Just make sure I'm set. If anything ever goes the wrong way,
Yeah.
And then, like, the biggest one for me that I really think, like, it keeps me going is, like, I really want to retire my parents. Just make sure they're good. They work a lot.
Yeah.
Like all of our parents, but they work a lot. So I just want to make sure they're good.
I love that, bro. I love that, man. That's yeah, man. I feel like that's a lot of people on the team that have that same goal. You know what I mean? Take care of the family. You know what I mean? And honestly, you see it in the way you play, in the passion that you play with, bro. And so I guess before we, close off, we have a lot of younger viewers, you know what I mean? Obviously a lot of young fans and people who look up to you. What is an advice that you received throughout, your life? Something that has really helped you get to where you want to be, you know what I mean? Something that you will share with probably, 7-year-old Smith.
Yeah. Let me think. I don't know. That's a good question.
You good, bro. You take your time, man.
Just that I'd say the biggest thing I would tell myself is that God has a plan for me. And, when I was a senior, I really did not know if I was going to go anywhere, I was really in a space where it was like, I don't know what I'm really going to do in my life. Yeah. And it's like, I'm going to go to JUCO, but like, what's that going to do? And, no, God just had a plan for me. I just stayed patient and Coach G and Coach Clune, I give them all the thanks because they came and got me. And And I feel like that was just God's plan. And even now with Wes here, it's like, like for Wes to get an opportunity here now, and now my family completely bleeds blue. Yeah. It just, it shows me that God had a plan for me, and BYU was in that plan in every single way, That's awesome. So I feel like that was a big thing. I would just tell myself that God has a plan, and that BYU is going to be part of it.
Man, I love that, bro. Man, Shmev, you already know this, bro, but I love everything about you, man. The way you approach the game, the way you approach your life outside of the back. You know what I mean? People don't understand. You're not just a great player, but you're a great person, man. And I feel that's a testament to how amazing your parents are. And actually, before we, your mom, man. Yeah. I think I saw it on social media, but she did she did like a mic'd up moment. Yeah. And I was like, this is the first time I ever seen like a parent, get mic'd up. And I was like, this is crazy. Like I literally went and watched that, and it's so funny to see like how animated your mom was and how supportive she is. But you can definitely see like the love and just the excitement for you and everything. I mean, like every parent, right? But to see that, it really warmed my heart. I remember I commented on everything, and I was like, dude, this is like, it's a special experience to be able to not just play here at BYU and play on the biggest stage, but then to be able to do it alongside with family. Yeah. Like, you have such a, the crazy like opportunity like in front of you to be able to, not just your dad played in the NFL, but like, your mom is also very involved in, everyday things here at BYU like that. And then your brother's here on the coaching staff. You know what I mean? Talk about your mom for a little bit in that experience.
My mom is just, she's the best, she's been with me through every single step, whether that was driving me to AAU tournaments back in the day in 8th grade or just, when I come home, there's a meal on the table every night. And, I'm just incredibly blessed to have her in my life because, she does so much for me. She does a lot for me to this day. And so it's like when you have someone behind your back like that always, there's no better feeling than that. And, now, and like you said, like she's animated and yelling for me. It's not just me now. She loved the team. Like I'm telling you, like my mom, and she's so funny. I if you didn't know that was my mom, I would think if you'd asked her about players, her favorite player would be LJ Martin.
I love it.
She's like, LJ can just run. LJ can just run. That ball, man. Yeah. And then like she met him too, like at because LJ is my neighbor, so it's like she sees him all the time. LJ, you're so. And I'm like, Mom, come on, Mom. Yeah. But that's funny.
Okay, well, off of that note of your family, your dad played receiver. You play DB right now. I think the question is, if you were to line up in front of your dad, out of 10 plays, where how many do you think you're winning?
Like as a DB, I'm saying 10. I think your dad, I'm saying 10.
I know you're gonna say 10, but your dad was asked this question. I think I saw it somewhere, and your pop said, like, I plead the fifth, no comment. You know what I mean? But like, I want to see young Johnson. I want to see what you gonna say, man.
I would lock him up. I would lock him up. I'd lock any of my cousins up. I'd lock my brother up. I'd lock all of them up.
Lock them up is crazy,
all of them up. I'm like, they're not catching a ball on me.
I love it, man. Hey, this is that confidence we're talking about right here, man. It don't matter who's lining up.
Yeah.
He's locking them down. Y'all heard it here first,
but especially my cousins. If my cousins lined up against me, I'm locking them out. Devereaux, Maurice, RJ.
Oh, he's dropping names.
I'm dropping names. If they line up against me, they are not getting no balls on me.
Oh, man. But outside of football, you also like to play pickleball is what I heard.
Yeah, I'm a big pickleball guy.
You're a little pickleball guy, man.
J-Rob put me on.
J-Rob put you. J-Rob's nice.
No, he's not.
No.
I beat him every time we play.
Pick someone on the team that you feel like, who's the best on the team? Would you say you're the best on the team?
Yeah.
Okay, who's second?
If you put me with a Raider,
his confidence is crazy, man. I'm telling you, man, these DBs,
put me
with
a Raider, we're not gonna lose.
Oh, Raider's pretty good.
And you can ask, like, we had a defense barbecue. Me and Raider on the court all day.
You ran the court,
just whooping, left and right. I'm telling you.
Who would give you guys, what's that called? Like a run for your money?
Coach Hill and J-Rob did give us a run for their money.
Coach Hill and J-Rob? Okay.
Yeah. But it was like dark too. So.
Yeah, I heard it here first, man. You got the pickleball master right here, man.
Best on the team.
Man, well, Smeb, I appreciate you again for making time for this again and for just sharing your light to the world, man. Honestly, man, every time I see you, man, you see your smile, man, I can't help but smile. You know, it's contagious, man. So I appreciate you for being on here and just not just being an amazing player, but just being a great person, a great example to everyone you come in with, bro. So
thank you, bro.
Appreciate you, brother. Okay.
Thanks again for tuning in to Inside the Y with Center Street Media. You can watch on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. The best host in the game, Higley. You know, Shmeb tuned in, tapped in.
And Spotify, right there. Spotify.
And we'll catch you on the next one.